That song beautifully sets up my message today. I relax, go, release, and surrender. Fun song with a little doo-wop going on. But I sort of think we might be a little more into control and holding on. What do you think? Yeah, that's why she sings that song, right? Our message today is letting go to receive. And we're exploring the third question in our visioning practice that we've been exploring all month this month. And that third question is, what must I release? We vision, we ask, what must I become? And then we ask, what must I release? I remember when the mini storage warehouse became a class of real estate, like apartments and medical and office buildings and so forth. They started in the 1960s, but they began to expand in the 70s and they blew up in the 80s. Everybody needed extra space to store their stuff that we didn't want to get rid of, stuff we didn't have a place for, stuff we hung on to year after year, move after move, right? All that stuff. The latest real estate category that's hit the marketplace is data centers. You heard about data centers, a lot of controversy because they're huge buildings. They employ 5 people and they use a tremendous amount of electricity and water to keep the machines running and to keep the facility cool. So there's a lot of controversy there. But why do we need them? Because we've gone paperless now, and instead of storing our papers in the mini warehouse, we store our data in the cloud, and all of that has to be in these machines on the ground. So we're all hoarders. Sorry, we're all hoarders. I've been cleaning my garage, as you know, for 2 months now, and I'm down to what appears to be way too many boxes of photographs. Anybody? Photographs. Yeah, back in the day, we would get our photos printed, and it was always, how did they turn out? Right? Before we had the screen, so we could see what they looked like beforehand and all of that. And then they got brilliant and said, we'll give you 2 for 1. So you got duplicates of everything because you could share them with your friends. So I'm going through that process right now of sorting through. I looked at it and I thought, I mean, is there $1 million in processing fees in these boxes? Because they span literally about 90 years of lifetime. I look back to my grandparents and their parents and some of those old photos that are in there, my parents in the 30s and 40s, all the way through their lives, my life growing up, and now then my life up until when did we start taking pictures on our phones instead, whatever that time frame was. They kind of stopped at that juncture. And while I can say I've had some genuine belly laughs at these photos, I mean, truly, um, my purge pile is getting much bigger than the other one. A, duplicates. B, I don't remember who those people are. C, scenery. How many pictures of the Grand Canyon do I really need? Right? And all. So anyway, they're here now, and they have moved with me. Just considering Arizona, from a rental house, an apartment, a townhouse, a house, another house, this house. And fortunately, I never had to rent many storage for them. I always had a closet or a garage I could house them in. But here they are, and I can only imagine what my cloud storage looks like. So my point is, we collect stuff. We collect stuff. We also collect mental stuff. We also collect mental stuff along the way, these stories and beliefs and habits and actions and ways of being that we have collected over this lifetime of ours. And it's all stored in our subjective and subconscious mind. When's the last time we did a purge party there to clean out some of that stuff? Anybody remember the movie, The Men in Black? Remember that movie? Wasn't that fun? Yeah. They had this really cool little thing in their pocket called a neuralizer. Looked like a pen, that thing he's holding. to erase people's minds so that they wouldn't remember meeting the men in black and whatever creatures or critters that were around and all that stuff. They would wipe that memory out, and they could also implant a different memory or some sort of suggestion of something we're supposed to do in the future. Now, we don't have that fancy machine or equipment here in our center, but we do have the ability to replace our memories with better stories, happier endings, and lessons learned. We can change what we hold in a memory in our minds now. We have that ability. The success of the science of mind is that we believe that we can change our thinking and change our lives. And we teach practices and principles that show us how to do that and how to use that in our lives. Now, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The fact that spiritual study is full of paradoxes, right? Full of paradoxes. And a paradox is a statement that seems to contradict itself and still may be true. The classic is the liar's paradox. This statement is false. This statement is false. If the statement is true, it must be false. If it's false, then it must be true. It creates a little contradiction in our minds that we have to kind of figure out where we land with that. This universal spiritual principle that we're talking about today, release to receive, can also be a bit paradoxical. I have to let go of what I have in order to get what I want? Huh? How does that work? It's usually explained by the classic example of the process of how to catch a monkey. You know that one? Monkey reaches into a jar with a thin top on it to get the banana, but he can't get it out because his fist is now with the banana and it won't come out of the small opening. And he won't let go to be free and run away. He wants his prize. So he keeps holding it and he gets caught. He gets caught. He must let go to be free. I want what I want, but I can't have it unless I let go of what I have. Huh? Welcome to the science of mind. This is the spiritual paradox. Let go to receive. Have you ever noticed that when you stop waiting for that phone call and go do something else, phone rings? When you stop hanging out for the delivery guy or the Cox rep or whoever's supposed to be coming to the do service, you stop waiting and go do something else, they show up. Or the classic, of course, the watched pot never boils. There's truth in these things, and that's the paradox we're talking about. Science weighs in on this idea of letting go to receive. It says that when we're hyper focused on something, when we're highly stressed about it, stressed on it, and have all of our energy going to that stress, that triggers the hormones and the stress in our mind, shutting down our logical thinking and activating the amygdala, the reptilian brain, as it used to be called. And that only knows one thing: survival. Survival. And so everything goes to surviving whatever this perceived threat is. And there's creativity and logical thinking's out the window at that point. So we're allowing those hormones, those stress hormones, to hijack our rational thinking. When we let go of the stress and the worry and things that we have, that amygdala calms down, goes back to sleep, and our logical mind, our prefrontal cortex, can take over again, and we open up to the energy of the universe that surrounds us, that is the creativity that's always available to us. We shut down that access to greater creativity when we're stressed, when we're in fear, when we're resisting. We sort of pull the curtain on it and block its ability to reach us. In the law of attraction, we talk about the vibration and being a vibrational match to our good. And that's what this is all like, is that energetic balance, that energetic matching, if you will. And when we're stressed, we're not. If we're stressed and in survival and fear, we can't match, marry, meet, vibrate with joy. It's just not a match. So that's what we're talking about. Author Joseph Campbell spoke about this also. He's famous for the hero's journey material, if you're familiar with that. He talks about the paradox of release and receive when he said, we must be willing to let go of the life we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. To have the life that is waiting for us. Same principle, right? The spiritual practice of visioning that we did the beginning of the month reveals the life that is waiting for us. That's the purpose of it, is to get us out of the way so that we can open divine influx of the creative flow that is always coming to us, but we're focused externally and can't hear it. We get quiet and still and open to receive that. That's what the visioning does. And then the next two questions in the process, what must I become and what must I release, help us to create the roadmap of fulfillment through us. What must I become? What must I grow into that I'm not currently so that it can come forward? And then what is cluttering up my mind, my house, my body, my whatever, that's not allowing room and space? So what do I have to get rid of? What do I have to release so that I can make this feel welcomed? We have to become a welcome place for what we are calling in, what we're creating, what we're manifesting. We have to be a welcoming place for it. Ernest Holmes is the author of The Science of Mind that we teach from. And in the very first page of the book, right before the contents, the table of contents, he has a poem there, and it truly is one of my favorite poems. It's called Peace Be Unto Thee, Stranger. We've got it up on the screen, but I want to read it into service. He says, Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. I have set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit, rest, and refresh your soul. All is yours, and you are welcome. I've always loved that because to me, that is the crux of the science of mind, that we need to make welcome in our home that which we are praying for, we are affirming and calling into our lives. And the vision helps us to make it welcome. If the gate open and you're welcome, I'm open to receive whatever it is I'm calling in. I'm open to the vision. I've seen everything and released all that is not necessary for this, just for you. I've put out the best of everything for you. Think about entertaining a guest in your home. We usually prepare for them a bit. We get the house cleaned, we'll stock the refrigerator, we maybe give them the fancy sheets or whatever. And that's what he's saying here, is to make welcome this idea, this vision that has come to us, this new idea, this new manifestation. And it supports the idea of becoming what we seek, which is another kind of woo-woo part of our teaching, that we say you have to become what you seek. Well, how do I do that? If I'm seeking such and such, how do I beat if it's not here, it's not in my life already? What? How do I become what I seek? We become by being welcoming to it, getting ourselves ready to receive it. Asking, what must I release, can help us to stuck in our beliefs, in believing that life is just how it is. And this is stuck in ways of being and being that we've always done and always been. And maybe there's a new way. Maybe there's something, some different way that we can be. Do the things I believe about me and my life, others are. Do I have the courage to of belief to calling me in 2026? In 2020, you stuck. Take that visual home with you. Is there that we're holding on to? Are you spending your energy resisting the vision like I did in this for this center, if you remember my story? Are you spending your energy there in resistance rather than allowing? Rather than allowing. Consider doing inner work. Inner work to declutter your mind, your subconscious, your subjective. Consider doing that inner work. Purge, just like we purge closets and garages and attics and other areas of our lives. We sometimes need to think a little housekeeping keeping in our minds and getting rid of some of that old stuff. It's also energizing for us because our energy is used in holding that old stuff in place and protecting ourselves to make sure life is just so. And when we can let go and clean that up, we free up that some energy and there's more expansion that we feel then. We've got more energy that we can then apply to creativity in our lives. Anybody have a smart TV at home? Yeah, maybe a satellite box or cable box, gaming console, things like that. All of these appliances are instant on, right? You turn them on and ooh, it comes up, it's ready to go. As long as they're plugged in, even if they're turned off, they're just stealing a little bit of energy all day long, all night long. Just a little bit trickles in just to keep them at that high level of readiness for us, right? So that when we turn it on, it's ready to go. And this is like our subconscious because our subconscious is always taking a little bit of energy to keep aware of everything that's going on, right? Everything that's going on. A lot of that's good because a lot of that is brain function, our breathing, our heartbeat, all those things that have to happen in our body. But there's also other stuff in there that creates some fears in our lives that we're on guard for, that we're on guard for. So unplugging our energy from our stories and our beliefs and our habits frees us up to be more available to what is coming forth into our lives, that new next expansion of consciousness that is available to us. That energy is now available to feed the vision, to feed the vision. Now, sometimes folks ask me about, this idea of letting go. Am I losing? Am I losing? I don't like to lose. I want to win. I want to keep all of this and all of that new stuff too. I want it all, right? We have evidence of that in our storage facilities. I like it all. But letting go means relief to show up for us. It's got to be this way because we have such limited resources in our mind about the way things can happen. When we let go and open to the universe, to spirit, to source, that's infinite intelligence. There's so many other ways to do things. If you've ever had an out of the blue experience where something got resolved and you go, how did that happen? Didn't see that one coming. Like this closing coming up almost a month early. I didn't see that coming. Out of the blue. I couldn't have planned it. I couldn't have made that buyer close early, right? It was something in him that showed this, coming into perfect and right alignment. The idea of letting go can feel uncomfortable sometimes. It can even feel impossible. You can't ask me to let go of that. You can't ask me to do that. It's impossible to do that. Because releasing can feel like loss. How many are coming to the ribbon cutting Thursday? Come play. Yes, it's going to be fun. We've got the Chamber of Commerce. We are members of the Chamber of Commerce. We have them all coming here on Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, big giant scissors and all. And we're going to do a ribbon cutting in honor of our 11th anniversary. Yay, us. And all of these folks will be coming, these business people will be coming. And I invite all of you to come and participate in this. And, it's a networking event too. So, whatever your business is, you can share how you are using these science of mind principles in your life, in your business. And it's a networking thing. So, it'll be cool. It'll be fun. I'm really getting excited about it. One of the ladies you've got to meet, though, her name is Patty. And her business is all around weight loss. And her teaching, which I love, is that she teaches people to release rather than lose weight. Imagine that. Imagine that. She has successfully, gotta hear this, she has successfully helped people release over 5,000 pounds, including 110 of her own. Jesus. It's amazing. She's an amazing person, a wonderful success story. And the beauty of it is that they are keeping it off because they have changed their thinking and they've changed their lives. So I hope you can come meet Patty on Thursday. We too can change our thinking, can we not? Yes. We can think of letting go not as losing, but as preparing a place to receive. I'm letting go of all of this so that I can prepare this beautiful place to receive this vision that has come to and through me. We can take our hand out of the jar. Yes, we can take our hand out of the jar and be free to choose to become and receive our vision. So let's look at some spiritual practices this week that will help us to let go and receive. I'm going to invite you to take an inventory of your life. Look into the nooks and the crannies and all the reflecting pools that reflect life back to us, our friends, our family, and the experiences that we have, and see what we might need to consider releasing. I have some journal prompts for you that might help the process. The first one, of course, is what must I release? What must I release? The second is how are my relationships? Look at your life, look at your relationships, and look at how healthy they are. Who are the people that are active in your life? Are they positive or negative influences? And then that wonderful old thing that says, who are the top 5 people I spend time with? That's who I am, so to speak. Who are those top 5 people that you interact with in a week? And what is that interaction? How's my health? Are there things I need to release that will help me to feel better and be better? Are there things I need to embrace, perhaps, too? What is my financial picture? Are there beliefs or habits that need to be released? Is there debt that needs to be taken care of? Are my accounts of giving and receiving in balance? And number 5, is there clutter to be released to make room for greater creativity and creative expression? It's hard to create in a cluttered mind or a cluttered room, is it not? It's hard to create in those situations where it's too distracting. So those are your 5 journal prompts for this week to go a little deeper in your practice. See what's there and see what might need some light to be revealed and healed. If you find that you're holding on too tightly to your current vision of life and that maybe it no longer suits you, maybe it's time to loosen your grip, create some space, because spirit can't fill a clenched fist. Spirit fills the open hands. Spirit fills the open hands. The question is not whether our good is available, it's whether we are available to our good. So it is. All right. We actually have a little bit of extra time this morning. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take them. Who's got the mic? I've got the mic. I've got the mic. Any questions this morning? Comments? Anybody wants to share? Or wow, that's all right. That's all right. We'll pray instead. How about that? I like that part. Oh, before I go into prayer this morning, I do want to let you all know, and if you're watching Beverly, my heart's with you. Bev lost her sister this morning, or last evening. She made her transition. So hold Beverly Engstrom in your thoughts if you would today in this prayer. So as we go within, recognizing that there is one power, one presence, one life, that universal energy and source, that unconditional love, that is God, infinite intelligence, all that is. It is that which has created everything. From as far away as we can imagine to as small as we've never seen, and everything in between, every complex and simple thing, everything of beauty, everything of joy and peace and harmony. And Spirit is in, through, and as all of that creation, in, through, and as me as an expression of it. And as I know that each of us gathered here today, online, in the room, and anyone listening later, that we are all one in the one, and that there is no separation. Even though there may be apparent separation by distance this morning, there's not. We're all right here, present right now, present in the one, united in the wholeness, in the Spirit of God. And so knowing that truth about us, that oneness that we are, I speak my word for and about all of us, knowing that we are whole, perfect, and complete in this manifestation that we are this morning, this moment. There's nothing broken. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. We are whole. And I know as we move through our week ahead in this idea of release to receive, that we recognize the areas where maybe we need to release. Maybe there is some letting go. Maybe there is some clearing in the support of making ready to receive the manifestation of that which we pray for, that which we pray about. Are we ready to receive it? Have we made a place for it? Have we made it welcome? I know that each of us that has received vision from Spirit, that it comes fully clothed with all that is necessary for its full and complete manifestation. Whether that vision was a tiny little acorn that has the oak tree within it, or whether it was a full-on vision with all the details. We just know that all that is necessary moves to and through us now. And so I speak words of blessing this morning on all faith traditions, all faith communities, knowing that all who seek find the one. For it is within. For it is within. I bless us in the week ahead, knowing that each of us has all that we need for our greater expression of the Spirit as we touch lives in every interaction that we have. And I know for anyone in this room that has anything on their heart that they seek prayer for, that we hold them in our love and in our prayers this morning, knowing the healing, the revealing, the financial flow, whatever it might be. We know that need is met. And it is with deep gratitude and joy and thanksgiving that I release this prayer into the action and activity of law, knowing that it is done, it is so. And we affirm this truth together by saying, and so it is.